it's a bit of a myth. Like people think we just got back together. I mean, we have been together like all the way through. I mean, we did have a rough patch in kind of 2003, where me and Keith weren't really talking, you know. But that's well documented, you know. But basically, there was loads of demos recorded over that period of time. But you know, I guess the way things work out, do you know what I mean? This is the record where we come back and recorded together.
And it's, yeah, you're saying Fat of the Land, it's kind of like out of sight, out of mind. We've still been touring worldwide, you know, we've been touring all over the place, and we continue to do that from the Fat of the Land, so it's not that we've stopped touring for X amount of years, you know.
This record's more of a band record as well, so I guess like the last record was confusing to a lot of people, I think, you know. It's maybe seeming a bit more of a solo record for me. But it's a record I was happy with, and it's a record that had to happen for us to get to this stage.
Sure. It's definitely a reset.
You know, it sort of feels like there's a sort of momentum that's sort of building up as we go along. You know, we were really pleased with the UK tour that we did, the Academy tour, that was really buzzing. You know, and definitely, you know, we don't feel like we're doing a reunion album or a reunion tour, you know what I mean?
It's something you know, this is something we've worked towards, you know, over the last 5 years. And like actually having the album finished and taking it on the road, it's just like, that's triumphant in itself.
Yeah. New songs, you know, can't help but breathe a freshness into the band, you know what I mean? So it's kind of, it's a freshness rather than as I say, reunion again, but you know, rather than a new energy or a new vibe. There's nothing new. The actual fundamental feeling is exactly how the Prodigy should feel, and being a part of it should feel. But you know, having just done the big day out, you know, we certainly, you know, made our mark there. You know what I mean? And you know, the new tracks, you know, really got well received and stood alongside the, you know, what the well-known tracks or whatever you want to call them. You know, but in a way that you know, that was like the album being out. You know, and when you got that behind you, and you know, you just you know, we felt like we was thumping it. So, you know, we feel like it feels like as good as it could ever be, really.
Totally.
It's definitely the most banned album we've ever had. You know, I mean, Fat of the Land kind of, without taking anything away from it, you know, it had like 3 vocal tracks on it, whereas this album feels like it's all of our inputs all the way through. You know, the track "Take Me to the Hospital," you know, it's like a car crash of all 3 of our kind of inputs. Really, do you know what I mean? You can hear like, you can hear a lot, you know, Keith's sort of deranged sort of lyrical style.
I didn't realise you was that deranged, but now I know.
No, yeah, it's there. It's documented.
It's documented on wax.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Maxim's kind of 1991 warehouse sort of East London rave influence. Do you know what I mean? And then obviously the beats, but that track definitely was like a look back at. You know, we felt confident as a band to kind of look back at what we'd done before and not have to kind of reinvent ourselves. You know, this album represents the band. We think like bands maybe who, you know, always kind of thinking they've got to reinvent themselves all the time. You know, that sometimes looks like they haven't got the confidence and belief in what they do. Do you know what I mean? Exactly. So we felt this album was definitely a time for us to kind of, you know, capture what the band's been about from the beginning. Really.
We don't need, like Liam saying, do you mean a perfect example? Like the Specials are reforming this year, I believe, and if they came out with a drum and bass album, do you mean it kind of wouldn't really go down? You know, you go there and you stay pressed and you loafers ready to rock out. And
I'm not going there, by the way.
Are you?
I love the Specials, but I won't be there.
But you know, that'd be a letdown. Do you know what I mean? You want to hear Specials, how you know the Specials. Do you know what I mean? And,
Are you going?
I'm gonna go. Anybody, if they can sort me out some tickets. You know, Terry, if you're listening,
Tell.
Do you know what I mean?
Telford.
I'd love to come to your gig, please.
To be honest, like obviously we know Pendulum, the good guys. We were with them in Australia. You know, they did the remix of Voodoo People, but like they are doing their own thing, man. Do you know what I mean? In my head, you know, they're kind of like. They are different to us, and you know they reference us, so it's respect.
Respect, yeah.
But it's no different to us, kind of like, you know, getting inspired from like Shut Up and Dance. beginning from when we started and shit. You know, I mean, there's a lot of bands around that we referenced. You know what I mean, when we first come out. You know, so I mean, it's the ongoing cycle. But yeah, I mean, it's exciting. That's the way. That's the way. It moves
Yeah, I
on.
think it's respectful that bands get inspired by us, and if you can see that they're doing their own thing, that's respect. Because when bands try to blatantly copy you, that's kind of where disrespect comes. But they're doing their own thing.
Well, it's on an island that's not white.
Hendrix went there once.
Hendrix went there once, and we'll be there twice. That makes us bigger and better than Hendrix. Come on.
It ain't just like Donington Monsters of Rock anymore. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of like people want to. If they don't want to see us, they can go and see Metallica or whoever's playing on the main stage, you know what I mean? But it's kind of like, people are open for it, people are up for it.
There was kids, climbing up the towers, and the security were going crazy, trying to sort of shut the area down, and that kind of mayhem suits the Prodigy, you know what I mean? That's kind of what we're there to do, incite a bit of, a bit of a riot, or, certainly incite mayhem, and it was definitely a memorable gig for us, the last download, so we're buzzing to go back.
Yeah, hopefully it'll be the same kind of vibe. Definitely.